As we make our way off the beaten track towards the remote Cambodian rainforest where various tribes live and where few tourists and even fewer Cambodians get to explore, I can't help but reflect on my journey through the kingdom of wonder, Cambodia. Before I came to Cambodia, I read my government's official tourist advice. I read information about grenade attacks, terrorism, and theft. A dark, worrying shadow hung over me. I am, after all, just a nerdy guy, a guy who plays RuneScape and World of Warcraft, League of Legends, a guy who likes to metal detect in his spare time, a guy who is definitely somewhere on the spectrum. Me, motorbiking through such a place? If you'd have asked me a year ago if this is where I'd be, I'd have laughed in your face and called you crazy. I arrived from Vietnam, a place that over the last few decades has turned its country into a tourist theme park. Huge part of their economy, roads and projects built purely in the name of tourism. Police are on every corner to watch over you, and although I enjoyed my time in Vietnam with its fascinating landscape, culture and people, it quickly dawned on me that if I were to enter Cambodia, I'd be entering a real country rather than the safer tutorial version of traveling Vietnam. I approached the Moc Bai border station after 7,000 kilometers of riding, sweating, nervous and full of stomach problems due to the anxiety and nerves as I'd heard tales of bribery, extortion and danger. I'd never done a border crossing before, let alone tried to get a motorbike that technically was illegal to own, and whilst not owning a driving license that was suitable for a 150cc motorbike. Just like that, I was in. A mix of emotion came over me. Why was that so easy? Why was I so terrified of this crossing? As I trek through a remote part of the rainforest, a place where the maps don't even show roads and very few tourists see, with my fantastic guide who knows the land like the back of his hand, I think about this. I think about how our perceptions can stop us from doing so many things, how fear and the unknown can keep us confined to where we think we're supposed to be, how one bad experience from a stranger who wants to exaggerate and be hyperbolic with his negative experiences can shape and shift our entire mind of a country, a people, or a place. Since arriving in Cambodia, I've experienced genuinely nothing but kindness. Driving through remote villages by myself, I saw smiles and happiness in the eyes of the extremely dark-skinned workers. They earn little, they work hard. But a white, nerdy tourist traveling by himself through their village, maybe it lets them know the direction that their country is going, and that it is improving. The Cambodian people have been through a lot. Several wars, and as little as 50 years ago, a large genocide took place in their country. Akin to World War II and the perfect race, Pol Pot wanted to completely control Cambodia and put it in his image. Anyone who was a threat was imprisoned, tortured and murdered in the most brutal fashion. From scientists to teachers, Pol Pot wanted complete control. After he'd spent his time in France and officially adopting communist beliefs and mindset, he came home and started his regime. His real name is open to debate, but after his education abroad, he came home with a new name, Pol Pot, believed to be a shortened version of political potential. And wow, did he try. A quarter of Cambodia was slaughtered. Several countries were involved, and it was a dark and grim time for Cambodians. They suffered tremendously. But I don't want to go fully into the history, as I won't do it justice, and I'm no historian. I'm just a traveler. I mention all this because it shows in Cambodia. As you travel around and meet villagers, farmers, or richer city folk, it shows that these people are proud of surviving and coming out the other side. Darkness and tragedy has the ability to either make people into monsters or to turn them into empathetic, humble and kind people that never want it to repeat. And this is Cambodia. You can see it in many people's eyes, smiles and kindness. They are not broken, they are strong and have endured so much And they want the best future for their children and their people. And tourism is one step in that direction. Most of your guides and your tuk-tuk drivers and people that you meet will have had first-hand experience of the horrors that took place. It is recent and it is real. The government of Cambodia has its own problems, wanting to suppress Cambodia's history in the education system, and is corrupt in many areas. But my point is, every person and every country has a history. It will influence your identity and who you are. Whether you like it or not, you cannot fully resist it. And the Cambodians show this by being a strong, humble, and kind people. Cambodia's past is just one of many reasons to explain the present, but that's just it. Cambodia in its present time is a fascinating place, and of course, rightly named the Kingdom of Wonder. From temples that are nearly 2,000 years old, from the oldest Khmer capital to the second and third, rightly known as Angkor Wat. You will find history here, and you will find peace and wonder. From the large city life of Phnom Penh, the beautiful beaches of the south and the small river towns with endangered dolphins, the Mekong Delta, and a more humble, quieter life, or the angelic and mysterious ancient capitals spread across the entire country, which are huge complexes, huge old cities, not just the odd temple here or there. You'll not only find beauty and fascination within the land of Cambodia, but you'll find something in yourself too. I came to this country with a lot of hesitation and a lot of worry, but it's taught me a lot. It has expanded who I am as a person, and I am incredibly grateful. My perception, my fear, nearly removed this experience from my life, and I'm so glad that I didn't let it. And just remember, like the Cambodian spirit, you can do anything. You can overcome fears, worries, or hardships. You can channel them into kindness and positivity. Most of all, hope. This is the lesson and emotion I've taken from my time in Cambodia. Not one of weakness or tragedy, but a lesson of endurance, a teaching of strength, the ability to survive and still come out smiling, kicking down the cruel side of the world and the nastiness it sometimes brings, and still coming out on top, not as a victim or a survivor, but a shining example of the human spirit and everything it's capable of, a beacon of hope and a testament to how incredible human beings can be. I suppose I don't have much else to say. I could ramble for hours about my feelings of this place and the things I've learned, but the message of this video is not something I can make you comprehend. It's something you'll have to come and experience for yourself in Cambodia, the Kingdom of Wonder.